What's happening, my friends? It's Cast Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. Now, as usual, before I get started, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. It's just boxing talk. We're a group of people who just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. That's all. Miss Cass, hashtag JBT. Justin James, hashtag JBT. Salute, Justin. Salute to everyone. And welcome to another episode of Cast Sports, The Box Dorian. Today, some of the biggest upsets in boxing history. And you know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Boxtorian, bringing you all that boxing history. Boxing is the greatest sport of them all. That's why we love it. Can't get enough of it. Boxing. How's everybody doing? Fancy. This is the Hump Day edition of Cast Sports, the Boxtorian. Oh yeah, some of the biggest upsets of all time. And you see that one on the thumbnail there. That's Buster Douglas, James Buster Douglas, and Michael Tyson. Okay? That was not only one of the biggest upsets in boxing, that was one of the biggest upsets in sports, period. Okay? Buster Douglas came in at 42-1 odds. Underdog, right? And won the fight. If you put $100 on Buster winning, you would have won about $2,500. Mm-hmm. 42-1 odds, man. What's up, Joe? Joe in the building. Salute. Another boxing historian there, always dropping gems into the chat. Some of the biggest upsets today, Joe. And we're gonna go in deep first. Before we get all the others, we're gonna go in deep on that Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson fight. We're gonna talk about that one. The lead up to it, the fight, and the aftermath and legacy of it. We're gonna talk about that one first. And then we got some other ones. But we got Pro Box tonight too. Want to touch on that right quick too. Pro Box. Good to see Justin James in the building. Haven't seen Justin for a minute, but Justin is doing great work for the JBT organization. Mm-hmm. Justin is always out there doing great work for us. Salute, Justin. Good to see you today, bro. Let's talk about Pro Box. We got Jarrett Hurd is on there tonight. Yep, Jarrett Hurd is going up against Jason Rosario. Middleweights, 10 rounds. Kind of like a crossroad fight for both guys. The winner moves up, the loser might not hear from him anymore. But anyway, Jarrett Hurd comes in at 25-3 with 17 knockouts. Now he resides in Accokeek, Maryland. Mm-hmm. I live in Maryland. I don't know where Accokeek is at. But he's a former IBF and WBA super welterweight champion. Jarrett is 33 years old. And in his last fight on December 8th last year, he stopped Ty Edmonds in 4 rounds, right? Now, an impressive performance tonight could elevate her to a fight among the top of the division. So a lot riding on this fight for Jarrett tonight, okay? Okay, good to see you, Justin. Just let us know, we might be able to do, help you out with a few things, talk to us. But yeah, good to see you though, Justin. Now Jared is going up against Rosario. Jason Rosario. He comes in at 24 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw with 18 knockouts. Now, Rosario is originally from the Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, but now he lives in Miami, Florida, right? And he also won his last fight. He stopped Israel Valerio in 2 rounds. That was in November of last year. And Rosario is a former unified super welterweight champion. And this is 10 rounds in the middleweight division. Now, the co-main is unbeaten bantamweight prospect Michael Angeletti, right? 11-0, 7 knockouts from Spring, Texas. He's facing from the Dominican Republic, Geraldo Valdez, 16 wins, 1 loss, 11 knockouts. And this is a 10-round fight in the bantamweight division, okay? And then Melanin Queen 27 in the building. What's up, Melanin Queen? In here early today, okay? Salute, Melanin Queen. Always good to see Melanin Queen. Okay. She's gonna be in the chat, advertising the raffle, promoting the channel, promoting the JBT, just doing all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Hope everybody showed Melanin Queen some love yesterday. But her cash app is $ Melanin Queen 1027. You want to show us some love today. But salute Melanin Queen. Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more in the building. Okay, my people coming in now. Yeah, that's why we waiting until 2:30. But we touching on Pro Box tonight. But salute Bruce Gas. Pro Box tonight. And the co-main. Now, yeah, Jared Hurd back in action in the main event. It's Jared trying to work his way back. But an impressive performance tonight will put Jared's next fight might be against somebody at the top of the division. So a lot riding on this fight for both fighters. But in the co-main event, who was it? Prospect Michael Angeletti, 11-0, 7 knockouts from Spring, Texas, going up against the Dominican Republic. Geraldo Valdez. Geraldo is 16-1, 11 knockouts. That's a 10-round fight in the bantamweight division. Then we got a junior lightweight fight tonight too. Dominique Val, he's been on Pro Box a lot. He's 9-0, 7 knockouts. That's a good early knockout rate. From Lutz, Florida. He's going up against Colombia's Kevin. Oh my goodness, Piedrahita. Kevin Piedrahita. You know how I always do. I always see if y'all can pronounce it. So give me a minute here. Because I know that wasn't right. There's another one with about 40 letters in his last name. Piedra. Hita. I might have had it right. Piedrahita, something like that. But anyway, yeah, he's fighting tonight, going up against Dominique Valet. And Kevin is 9-2 with 8 knockouts. This is a lightweight fight. There's some good knockout rates in here too. You know, in this fight, you're likely to see a knockout because Dominique Valet's got 7 knockouts in his 9 wins, and Kevin has 9 wins and he's got 8 knockouts. So yeah, 8-round fight, lightweights. And then in the opening fight on the card, we got heavyweights. Ivan Dyko, 13-0, 12 knockouts. Look at that. You're going to see some stoppages tonight. 12 knockouts in 13 fights. He's going up against, he's originally from Kazakhstan, but now he lives in Kissimmee, Florida. That's not too far from Plant City, where Pro Box is at. Yeah. He's going up against Craig Lewis. 15 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw, 8 knockouts. From Detroit, Michigan. That's an 8-round fight. Heavyweight. Okay, that's Pro Box tonight. Jared Hurd, got a veteran on the card. Okay, but today, right now, it's some of the biggest upsets of all time. And you see Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson. That was one of the biggest upset in sports, right up there with the Miracle on Ice. Remember, like I've been telling you all week, when United States Olympic hockey team beat the Russians in 1980. They made a movie about that and everything, the Miracle on Ice. So Buster Douglas and Mike was a miracle on canvas, right? Get it? Miracle on canvas. Oh, y'all probably think I'm crazy. Yeah, Miracle on Ice, Miracle on canvas. Yeah, because Buster, I told you, 42 to 1 odds, man. If you would have bet $100, you would have won about 2,500. 2,500. Oh my goodness, who is that calling me this time? Oh, I can't answer it. I'll call you back. And 200 would have got you about 5 G's. 42 to 1 odds. But nobody thought Buster was going to win. I got something doing it. I'm going to touch on, go deep on that fight, and just wait, man. It's amazing how far Tyson's corner overlooked Buster, man. It was ridiculous, man. They just really overlooked Buster. Tyson was supposed, they went out and partied all night with, I forgot who it was, Bobby Brown, the singer. Remember Bobby Brown was going big around that time? 90s, when was that fight, 1990? Yeah, Bobby Brown was going big around, and him and Mike was supposed to have partied all night. Because Bobby was over there for the fight. It was in Japan, and yeah. Bobby told Mike, you better get some sleep for that fight tomorrow. Mike said, Bobby, I don't need no sleep for Buster Douglas. I'll beat him easily. If I haven't slept in like 2 or 3 weeks, that's what Mike said. Yeah, I'll beat Buster easily. I could have been up for like the last 2 or 3 weeks and had no problem beating him. But he got surprised the next day. And we getting ready to touch on it. Yep. His corner, his entire team took Buster lightly. His trainers, everybody, man. They didn't even bring an in-swell to the fight. The in-swell, when you get on cuts and swelling and stuff, instrumental, in every corner during the fight. Mike Tyson's team didn't even bring one of them because they thought that he wouldn't need it against Buster. And his eye ended up almost closed. If he would have had that in-swell, that might not have happened. Okay? So, yeah. They really, really, really overlooked Buster. Didn't even bring an in-swell to the fight. Ain't that crazy? Yeah. But, yeah. Yeah, Bruce, right. 4,200. Well, I was a few thousand below. Wow. 4,200, man. God damn. So 200 would have been almost 10 G's. 42 to 1 odds, man. Wow. But nobody, I guess somebody, Buster's family might have bet on him. But man, nobody really thought Buster would win though. So, that was like giving away money. $100 would bring you 4,200. So 200 is damn near 10 G's, man. Between 8 and 10 G's. Wow. But nah, I didn't think Buster had a chance, like many other people did, right? But Buster not only beat Mike, he stopped him, put him down for the count. He didn't. There was a little controversy because Mike also knocked Buster down in the fight, and they said Buster got a long count. Okay. Now the timekeeper started to count when they were supposed to, but the referee was supposed to have started 2 seconds later, so they said. And then when Mike went down, they claimed Mike got a fast count. And Don King, they filed they disputed the fight, right? But and originally a couple of the sanctioning bodies, because Mike was undisputed, a couple of the sanctioning bodies didn't recognize Buster originally, but the WBA did. But finally, they all came around. For like the first week or two, a couple of them didn't even recognize Buster as being champion. And Buster said that took a little bit of the glitz off of it too, the way they did him. But he beat Mike, Yes, he did. Knocked him out cold. But I got a lot of other good upsets too. Yeah, Joe. They had a condom full of, use it as the in-swell. Yep, they didn't even bring an in-swell. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? A plastic glove, Joe. Joe said a condom. They had a plastic glove full of water. Joe is crazy, man. Joe said a condom full of water. But they didn't bring an inswell. That's how much they looked down on Buster. Mm-hmm. Mike stayed up partying all night, but he paid for it. Yep. Never really was the same after that. That was before the rape charge came about. But like when his career was over, Mike said his career ended that night, 1990, the night he lost to Buster. Yeah. But he did become champion again when he got out of prison. Yeah, but I think Evander took those from him, and he never reached the championship level anymore. But let's get ready to get started on some of the biggest upsets in boxing history. Yeah, they snatched my monetization from me. I don't know what I did. I was showing those 3 old fights in my opening. Rocky Marciano and Roland Starzer. 20 seconds of each. I had 3 of them. I had Joe Louis and Max Baer and Sugar Ray Robinson and Gene Fullmer for like a minute opening when I first came on. And I guess they must have copyrighted me for that. But I've been showing that since before I was monetized. So I don't know if that was it. And I don't make videos, so what could they have possibly got me for? I don't know. I only been monetized about a month, but they zapped me. But I'll get it back. And they didn't send me any kind of notification or no reason why they did it. They just did it, man. I checked. So I tried to call Jay Hardcore. I gotta, I want something so I can find out what happened, man. Yeah. Salvador Sanchez, Joe. Oh, yeah, Salvador versus Gomez. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, that was Puerto Rico versus Mexico. Yeah, that was a good one. Salvador, I think, what was it, like the 8th round when he stopped Gomez? Something like that. Yeah. That was Gomez's first loss. Wilfredo won like his first 32 fights. I think they all was knockouts or something like that. I don't know exactly how that goes, but yeah. Wilfredo had quite a knockout streak to begin his career. But let's get ready to go with today's show. But this is all kind of stuff going on in the sports world, man. We got our sport, boxing, going strong. Major League Baseball is going full speed ahead toward the pennant races. It's almost September. And you know what else starts in September? The NFL is getting ready to kick off. So that's a great time to be a sports fan. And then boxing, clicking on all cylinders. We topped 2023, I think. And we got the Monster Tuesday. Next Tuesday, the Monster. TJ Doheny. Barroso on the card. Yep. That's their big day over there in Japan Tuesday. I think the Monster will take care of him. And then I think the next big card is Canelo and Edgar Blanca. That's not a bad card. It's got Danny Garcia and Erickson Lara on it. Caleb Plant is on it, making his return. I think that's Caleb's first fight since he lost to Benavidez, right? And then Rolly's on the card, making his return since he lost his title that he should have never had in the first place. But I forgot who Rolly was fighting, but he's back in there. Yeah. They won't fight the old guy, though, Barroso. He's on the Monster card. Barroso got to go all the way to Japan to get somebody to fight him. All those guys at 140 scared of the old man. I don't blame them. If I had a belt at 140, I wouldn't fight Barroso neither, But let's get ready to start with I forgot momentarily. Yeah, some of the biggest upsets in boxing history. It's right there on the screen. All I gotta do is look at it, dummy. Yeah, man. I just got monetized and they snatched it. That's crazy, though, man. No warning, no nothing. Just take it. It's gone. I didn't even know. Jay Hardcore called me yesterday and said him and Lonnie Lee was trying to send me a super chat Friday, I think, or Monday, one day this week, and they said they couldn't do it. And then I got on and said, my dollar sign is gone. No wonder. I mean, they could at least tell a person so I would know not to do the next time, So But they give you, they penalize you. Jay Hardcore they got him too. He said he's back in November, so I don't know when I get mine back. I don't even know when they took it. That's crazy. YouTube is full of shit. I better stop before the whole channel be off the air. I don't curse that much. I might say shit or damn or hell or something, but I don't be dropping F-bombs and that kind of stuff on here. I don't know. I don't know. I see people drop F-bombs and D's and MFs. What's that one guy name over there? Man, every other sentence is a MF or something in it. So it can't be because of that. I don't know. I don't even know what I did. That's bad, ain't it? You get penalized and you don't even know what you did. But I'm gonna get off of that. Let's go with today's show. Some of the biggest upsets in boxing history. Now, 3 months. Okay, Bruce, thank you. Damn. I'm looking at August, September, like November. I was almost to $100 too to get ready to get my first YouTube check. Yeah, I got a Melanin Queen now. But that was after they zapped me. I got a Melanin. Yeah, he sent them to me Saturday. But I was probably already zapped then and didn't even know it. Jay was telling us Saturday that he was out. I'm like, what? They got you? Did not know they had got me too. Okay. But anyway, there's a tiny part of us that always roots for the underdog in boxing. No one gives him much of a chance to emerge victorious, but they found a way to do so based on sheer will and determination. It's one of the reasons why combat sports are so popular. Nothing beats an underdog surmounting impossible odds to make their dreams a reality. And this list today will explore some of the most memorable upsets in boxing history and relive the stories behind them. So let's jump into it. The first one we're going to talk about for a minute, Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas. That was a biggie. That's one of the biggest of all time. Yeah. Buster and Mike. Like I was saying, 42-1 odds. I was saying 100 bring you 2,000. Bruce Gass corrected. Bruce Gass said 100 would have bought you 4,200. Man, $100 bet. So 200 was like between 8 and 10. Something like that. Wow, man. I wish I would have bet on Buster now. Hindsight is 20/20 vision, though, right? Okay. Now, let's look at this fight. Okay. Mike Tyson versus Buster Douglas, billed as Tyson is Back. It was a professional boxing match that occurred at the Tokyo Dome on February 11, 1990. The then undisputed heavyweight champion, Tyson, lost by knockout to the 42-1 underdog, Buster Douglas. The fight is widely regarded as one of the biggest upsets in sports history, not just boxing, sports history. Okay? And 42-1 odds, man, that's crazy. Now let's look at the background to this fight. Let's look at the background to it, okay? Now going into the fight, Mike Tyson was the undefeated and undisputed heavyweight champion of the world and was very popular at the time. He had the WBC, WBA, and IBF titles. It was 3 belts then. Now I think the WBO had came around at that point, but the other 3 wasn't recognizing it as a major yet, okay? So it was 3 belt undisputed, WBC, WBA, and IBF. Now, despite several controversies that marred Tyson's profile at the time, such as his allegedly abusive relationship with Robin Givens, his wife, his contractual battles between longtime manager Bill Cayton and promoter Don King, and Tyson's departure from longtime trainer Kevin Rooney. Yeah, Mike had a lot going on in his life then too. Yeah, he still was expected to not have any trouble with Buster though. But despite all of that, Tyson was still dominant in the ring, right? He had scored a 93-second knockout against Carl the Truth Williams in his previous fight, the fight before Buster. 93 seconds against Carl the Truth Williams, right? And most considered the fight between Mike and Buster to be a warm-up fight for Tyson before meeting up with then undefeated #1 heavyweight contender Evander Holyfield, who was ringside for the fight, right? But supposed to be a warm-up for Holyfield, but Buster didn't get that memo. Okay, Buster didn't know he was just a warm-up. Nobody told Buster. Now, Tyson was viewed as such a dominant champion that he was also considered the #1 fighter in the world, pound for pound, including by Ring Magazine, who rarely listed heavyweights on the pound for pound list. But Mike was so dominant, Ring Magazine even listed him as #1 pound for pound. Now, Buster Douglas, he was ranked as the #7 heavyweight contender by Ring and had met with mixed success in his professional career up to that point. His previous fight, he had another title fight before that. It was against Tony Tucker in 1987. And Buster got knocked out in the 10th round, TKO, right? Got stopped by TKO in the 10th round. But since the Tucker fight, he had 6 consecutive wins coming into this fight against Mike, including wins over former world champion Trevor Berbick and future world champion Oliver McCall. And that's what gave Buster the opportunity to fight Mike, right? And the time leading up to this fight, Douglas faced a number of personal setbacks, including the death of his mother, right? 23 days before the fight. Additionally, the mother of his son had a severe kidney ailment, and he had contracted the flu on the day before the fight, right? So Buster had a few personal things going on in his life, also lead up to the fight. What's up, Al Booger? Al Booger is in the building. What's up, AB? Talking about some of the biggest upsets of all time, and we're going in deep on that Buster and Mike. Little background on it right now, okay? Now, Buster had a few things going on in his life. Now, HBO boxing analysts Larry Merchant and Jim Lampley expected to see another 90-second annihilation. When asked by a Japanese customs official how long he expected to be working in Japan, Ed Schaller of the Associated Press replied, about 90 seconds. Instead of discussing Douglas's chances against Tyson, Larry Merchant and Jim Lampley compared their pets. Tyson had a white pit bull named Duran. He named his pit bull after his idol, Roberto Duran, while Buster Douglas had a beagle named Shakespeare. Merchant, after saying that the fight is over before it begins or soon thereafter, and describing Douglas as just another frozen tuna from the Tokyo fish market, opined that any prize fighter with a dog named Shakespeare can't be all bad. And in an interview given to HBO prior to the fight, Douglas told reporters that his favorite Shakespeare play was the romantic tragedy, Romeo and Juliet. And Lampley suggested that if Tyson were asked the same question, assuming Tyson had read Shakespeare, he would choose something more bloody and violent, such as Henry V or Macbeth. Now, this is what I was talking about a little while ago. Singer Bobby Brown wrote in his autobiography that he met with Tyson in Tokyo, and the two partied extensively the night before the fight. And Brown claims that he told Tyson he better get some sleep early for the fight. But Tyson called Douglas an amateur that he could beat if I didn't sleep for 5 weeks. Okay, that's what Mike said about Buster. And Mike wasn't the only one that his team overlooked Buster too. Now let's talk about the fight. I got my name, but can you see Mike laying down there on the floor there? Let me see. There's my glasses. Yeah, Mike is laying on the floor. Let's talk about the fight. Okay, then we're gonna get into. We got about 20 upsets, but we're gonna start out with this one here. see his legs laying down there on the floor. Yeah, Buster and laid him out. Let me see real quick. I got too many comments now to take that off, so. There he is. See Mike laying down there? Yeah, okay. Now let's talk about the fight, okay? Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson. The fight. Okay. Now, keep track of this. Nobody came in. Yeah, Tokyo Tuna. That's what Larry Merchant called him. You know, Larry Merchant had a lot of shit with him anyway. I better stop watching my life. That might be why they snatched my monetization. You know, I say shit and hell and damn every now and then, but I'd have heard some people drop some F-bombs and B's and MFs, so I don't know. But the fight. I'm gonna stop talking about my monetization they snatched. Is it back? They might have made a mistake. No, not on it. Okay. Excuse me. Let me take a drink. Cooler, real quick. Is it Friday? It's the hump day. I'm drinking a cooler. Only one more day till the weekend. My weekend start on Thursday. Okay. Now, from the beginning of the fight, it was apparent that Douglas was not afraid. Douglas displayed a lot of spring in his body and was not cautious in letting his punches fly whenever he saw the opportunity to attack Tyson. He used his quick and accurate jab. Yeah, Buster had a very busy jab, man. And Buster was a big guy with a big, nice jab. He was the perfect blueprint for beating Tyson. Big, rangy guy with a nice jab, man. Yeah. And he could take a punch, too. But he displayed a lot of spring in his body movement and was not cautious in letting his punches fly whenever he saw the opportunity to attack. He used his quick and accurate jab to prevent Tyson from getting inside, where Tyson was most dangerous at. And when Tyson tried to get inside, Douglas tied him up, moved away, or would immediately hit Tyson with multiple punches as Tyson came within Douglas's range. Now, early on, Douglas was more agile than Tyson and outlanded Tyson in exchanges. Douglas has finished the second round with a snappy uppercut to Tyson's chin, right? Now, seeming to regain his form, Tyson landed a punishing left to the body that had Douglas look at his corner. And after an ineffectual and lackluster third round, Tyson cornerman Jay Bright screamed at his fighter, "Don't just stand there and look at him. You've got to work." Boxer Sugar Ray Leonard at ringside doing commentary for HBO noted Douglas dominated with the jab and right hand, and he said Tyson was having one of those occasional days in the ring where you just don't have it. Things just don't click in, right? Tyson was having one of those days, man. And a lot of it was because of what Douglas was putting on him, okay? Now, Douglas would still dominate the middle rounds, although Tyson managed to land a few of his signature uppercuts. Tyson was wobbled by a chopping right during the fifth round. Soon, Tyson's left eye began to swell from Douglas's right jabs, preventing him from seeing his opponent's punches well. Now check this out. Tyson's cornermen were caught unprepared. They were so confident Tyson would easily beat Douglas that they had not even bought an N-Swell or ice pack, usually standard equipment for a fight. They didn't even bring an N-Swell or ice pack to the fight. That's how they were so overconfident, man. And instead, they filled a latex glove with ice water and held it on Tyson's eye between rounds. Joe said they filled the condom with the water, but no, Joe, I told you, Joe was crazy, man. It was a latex glove. Anyway, Aaron Showell Tyson's prime, ain't that something, Al Booger? They didn't even bring an inswell or ice pack to the fight, man. That's how overconfident they was. And see, they might have kept, and Tyson's eye eventually swelled all the way closed. They might have kept that thing open if they would have had an inswell. See? Overconfidence cost them the fight. Anyway, Aaron Snowell, Tyson's primary corner man, at one point, caught the chain from his identification badge hanging from his neck between the ice glove and Tyson's eye. Tyson winced in pain as Snowell moved, dragging the chain from one side of his injured eye to the other. Wow. Confusion and panic grew in Tyson's corner as the fight went on. Despite Tyson's inability to execute an offensive fight plan, his corner continued to give him the same advice between rounds: to move his head, jab his way inside, and deliver a right hand. But that wasn't working. In the 8th round, a round Douglas dominated until the last few seconds, HBO's Larry Merchant noted Douglas is asking of Tyson some questions he hasn't been asked before. In the last few seconds of the 8th round, you have to come back and win it. Now, within the last 10 seconds of the 8th round, Tyson, who had been back onto the ropes, landed a big right uppercut that sent Douglas to the canvas. Now, although the knockdown timekeeper began when Douglas's backside touched the ring's surface, the referee was said to have started his own count behind by 2 seconds, behind the timekeeper. Douglas rose as the referee signaled 9, but the bell ended the round. Now, see, the referee, he was supposed to just, after he get Tyson to that neutral corner, he's supposed to look at the timekeeper and pick up the count. It looked like he started his own count. That's what they're saying, right? Now, in obvious annoyance at his own lapse, Douglas pounded his left fist on the mat. Tyson promoter Don King would later argue the validity of the referee's count in vain. In the 9th round, Tyson came out aggressively to try to end the fight and save his title, hoping that Douglas was still hurt from the knockdown in the previous round. But Douglas was able to fight off Tyson's attack and was able to close Tyson's eye completely. Both men traded punches before Douglas connected on a 4-punch combination that staggered Tyson back to the ropes. With Tyson hurt along the ropes, Douglas closed in and unleashed a 4-punch attack to try to knock Tyson out. Tyson withstood the punishment and barely survived the round. That was the 9th, okay? Now, in the 10th round, Tyson pushed forward, but he was still hurting from the accumulation of punishment he had absorbed throughout the match, especially in the previous round. Now, as Tyson advanced, Douglas measured him with a few jabs before landing an uppercut that snapped Tyson's head upward, stopping Tyson in his tracks. As Tyson reeled back, Douglas immediately followed with 4 punches to the head, knocking Tyson down for the first time in his career. Mike is on the mat for the first time in his career. Yep. In a famous scene, Tyson fumbled for his mouthpiece on the canvas before sticking one end in his mouth with the other end hanging out. The champion attempted to make it back to his feet. The referee Octavio Moran counted him out. Buster Douglas thus became the new undisputed heavyweight champion, engineering one of the biggest upsets in boxing history and sports history, period. Now, the official scorecards through 9 rounds were 87-86 for Tyson. One judge had it 86-86, and the other judge had it 88-83 for Douglas. That sounds about right to me. I've seen it like 10 times, and I think it was like 88-83 for Douglas. Douglas was winning pretty handily, if you ask me. Now, during the post-fight interview, Douglas broke down in tears when asked why he was able to win the fight when no one thought he could. Douglas replied, "Because of my mother. God bless her heart. said the emotional new champion. Merchant concluded that it was the expulsion of Kevin Rooney, who still rooted for Tyson every time he watched him fight, despite their split. Yeah, Kevin Rooney was his trainer, one of Cus D'Amato's people, and Don King got rid of him, right? And Larry Merchant said it was when he got rid of Kevin Rooney, which led to the stunning knockout loss. Merchant said Tyson needed Rooney in much the same way Muhammad Ali needed Angelo Dundee. Merchant speculated that with Rooney in his corner, Tyson would have managed to end the fight on his feet and to change the tide of the fight, exactly as in the Tucker fight, after he was rocked in the first round, but weathered the storm with Rooney's help and came back determined to win, outboxing his opponent. Butch Lewis shared the same opinion, believing that after he got rid of Rooney, Tyson found himself in a situation where there was no one to enforce compliance with the training regimen and a normal daily routine and tell him, back on track, Mike, when needed. So did Jerry Isenberg, who commented, they assembled a corner for that fight, which looked like it was picked up out of the semifinals of the Inner City Golden Gloves. Yeah, that corner was terrible, man. They didn't even bring an N-Swell or ice pack to the fight. Come on, man. How you gonna do that? I don't care who you fight. You're supposed to have an N-Swell and an ice pack there. You had to put cold water in a glove and try to put it on his eye. And then the guy got the chain from his ID badge up against the wounded eye, moving that back and forth against him. Tell me that ain't an incompetent corner. Let's look at the aftermath and the legacy of the fight. Ray Patterson. What's up, RP? Straight out of New Jersey. Lonnie Lee, hashtag JBT in the building. What's up, gentlemen? We are looking at some of the biggest upsets of all time. Went in a little deep on Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas because that was a biggie there. Yeah. But Lonnie Lee, hashtag JBT, NRP, Ray Patterson, straight out of Jersey in the building. Okay. So let's look at the aftermath and legacy of this fight. One of the biggest upset in sports. $100 would get you 4 G's, man. 42 to 1 odds. $4,200, $100 bet. So you put 200, that's almost like between 8 and 10 G's. Wow. I wish I would have bet, man. I was into boxing at that time. But I didn't give Buster a chance like nobody else did. You know? And Buster not only beat him, he stopped him. Okay. Let's look at everybody smashed on the appreciation button. The appreciation button is the like button in the JBT. Hit the up or hit the down. Just hit one of them, you know. If you don't like it, hit the down button. No problem. You know, it all matters. Aftermath and legacy. Okay. As a 42 to 1 underdog, Douglas earned $1.3 million from the fight, while Tyson got $6 million. Tyson's camp, led by Don King, immediately protested the result, claiming that Douglas had been given a long count by referee Octavio Moran. Now, the WBA and WBC initially agreed and suspended recognition of Douglas as champion. Yeah, I said WBA recognized, but WBA didn't recognize him in WBC, okay? Initially, they didn't recognize Douglas as a champion, although the IBF immediately accepted that the result was valid. The IBF recognized it. After a public outcry and demands from boxing commissions around the world that they acknowledge Douglas as the champion, the protest was withdrawn and Douglas' win was recognized 4 days after the fight. In spite of Douglas's inspired and dominant performance, a sizable number of boxing fans viewed the fight's outcome as an aberration, leading to interest in a rematch, right? In an HBO studio interview with Larry Merchant the following week, Douglas stated, "The protests and post-fight confusion ruined what should have been the best time of his life. Now, at the time of the fight, Don King was said to have been negotiating for Tyson's next fight to be in the fall in Berlin against former champion Greg Page. Everybody had overlooked Douglas. Don King was negotiating his next fight already before they even fought. Now, Greg Page had knocked Tyson down while sparring with him 3 weeks before the Douglas fight. And a future Mike Tyson versus George Foreman fight to be promoted by the Sultan of Brunei was also shelved. Yeah, Buster, they should have sent Buster that memo because he ruined a whole lot of stuff. Buster didn't get the memo and messed up a whole lot of stuff, man. What's up, Old School? It's my part-time co-host, William Old School Arndt, in the building. I think that's how you pronounce it. Next time you're up here, Old School, you got to tell me the correct pronunciation of your last name. I was saying Arndt. D1 said Arndt. So I'm going to go with William Old School Arndt, okay? But I just say Old School. What's up, Old School? Old School in the building, y'all. Okay. We got me and Old School got something coming up on Muhammad Ali, too. That's Old School hashtag JBT. Now let's get back to it. We'll talk about some of the biggest upsets of all time. And we went a little deep on this Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas one, because that was a big one. Okay? Yeah, that's the real, one of the original OGs, Old School, yeah. Yeah, Al Booger, one of the original OGs, William Old School Arndt. Yeah. Okay, now where was I? Damn. Yeah. Yeah, Don King was negotiating for Greg Page fight, and somebody else was negotiating for a George Foreman fight. Everybody overlooked Buster, but they didn't send Buster the memo. So Buster knocked him out. Now, plans for a rematch fell through for Buster and Mike, so Douglas' first title defense was against number one contender Evander Holyfield, who was supposed to have been fighting Mike next. Now, an overweight Douglas, weighing 14.5 pounds more than he did in the Tyson fight, was knocked out by Holyfield in the third round. Yeah, Douglas, if that Douglas that beat Tyson had fought like that the rest of his career, he would have been a problem at heavyweight. But the Douglas that beat Tyson never showed up again. Even though Tyson did overlook him, Douglas was still in great shape for the great fight, man. Yeah. Douglas retired after the Holyfield loss. 6 years later, he launched a comeback after almost dying in a diabetic coma and won a few fights against journeyman opposition. He fought for the last time in 1999. Despite rumors of a rematch with Tyson throughout the 1990s, they never faced each other again. Never came about. Tyson would fight 4 more times after the Douglas fight before being convicted of raping beauty pageant contestant Desiree Washington in 1991. Yeah, that's the lady that first time she met Mike Tyson, went to his room 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what she thought they was going up there for. You know, Mike went to get the goods. She went up there to get a suitcase, get some money, you know. That's what happened. Following his release from the Indiana Youth Center in 1995, he quickly regained the WBA and WBC world titles before losing them to Holyfield, and he was never again a world champion. He fought on sporadically for another decade and lost in another title challenge against Lennox Lewis in 2002. He retired from boxing in 2005 after consecutive losses to journeymen. Buster Douglas went down in sports lore as a prize fighter who defied the odds to pull off one of the biggest upsets in sports history. Among the honors was a cover photo on an issue of Sports Illustrated with the title, Rocky Lives, after the popular film series about a similarly underestimated boxing hero. For Tyson, though he retained a menacing aura for years afterwards, the mystique of the untouchable, invincible, baddest man on the planet had been shattered. Tyson himself knew as much, stating after he ended his career by losing to unheralded Kevin McBride in 2005. He said, "My career has been over since 1990. The fight is often ranked among the biggest upsets in sports history." Yeah, that was a big one then. Well, let's get to some of these other upsets. But that was Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas. That was a big one. Yeah. Uh, I call it the biggest upset in boxing history. That one. Yeah. Mike and Buster. Buster shocked the world, man. I told you, went to work the next day and everybody was talking about that. People that even knew watch boxing. But you hear Mike Tyson lost last night. I'm looking at my mouth all over. You watch boxing? Yeah. Casuals, everybody knew Mike though, Yeah. Mike was like the face of boxing. Came along after Ali. And he came along like during the Four Kings era. Mike was, huge. And everybody thought he was invincible. When he was fighting Buster in 1990, undisputed champion. And Buster was just this guy, man. Nobody had never heard of, right? He had one title fight before that. He had got knocked out. I think it was Tony Tucker, right? 42-1 odds. I should at least put $100 or something on. That was $4,000, $100 bet, man. Okay. But the next one is, I'm not going to go into detail on the rest of them like that one. That was the biggest one. What's the next one, Cass? 3 o'clock. I only been on here 10 minutes. I haven't seen Mike Masick today. Is Mike Masick in here? No, I don't think so. Okay. The next one is Leon Spinks and Muhammad Ali. There they are, Leon and Muhammad Ali. Okay. That's the next one. Leon Spinks and Muhammad Ali. That was a pretty big one too. Leon Spinks only had 7 fights at that time. Yeah. Now, Ali was nearing the end of his legendary career when he squared off against Spinks in 1978. I was on my way into the Air Force then. Yeah. Spinks only had 7 professional fights under his belt at the time, and few believed that there would be enough to get past an aging Ali, right? Spinks went on to put on the best performance of his boxing career during his 15-round action-packed fight, edging out the decision. Unfortunately for Spinks, he lost the rematch several months later and never lived up to the high expectations many placed on him. Yeah, and that's when the WBA and WBC split first time since early in the 1970s, because the WBA recognized Spinks as champion, but the WBC wanted him to fight the #1 contender, which was Ken Norton. So the WBC stripped Spinks and gave the belt to Ken Norton. And then that's where we had 4 WBC champions in 4 months, because Ali was the first one, and then Spinks beat Ali for #2. Norton was 3 when the WBC stripped Spinks. And then Larry Holmes beat Norton in his first defense for 4 WBC champions in 4 months. So that was really crazy. Yeah. But the next one is Randy Turpin and Sugar Ray Robinson. There they are. There's Sugar Ray on the left, Randy Turpin on the right. Found pictures for all of these upsets too. Mm-hmm. When is our show, old school? Put it in the chat. Okay. Tell your boss you got a show to do, man. Gotta give you a Monday off or something. Randy Turpin versus Sugar Ray Robinson. That's them on there. Randy got that left, putting that left on Sugar Ray's chin. Wow, right on the chin. Now, Sugar Ray was on a 90 fight winning streak. Yeah, I said that right. Sugar Ray was on a 90 fight winning streak when he defended his New York State Athletic Commission, NBA, and the ring middleweight titles against Turpin. Yeah, we didn't have no WBC, WBA, WBO, IBF. Well, the NBA was the WBA at that point, but the New York State Athletic Commission and the NBA was the major titles then. Sugar Ray had both of them, plus the ring middleweight title. Turpin was a 20-1 underdog, not quite as bad as Buster, but 20-1 is pretty huge. 20-1 underdog, and many expected the Brit to be in over his head when he stepped into the ring against Sugar Ray Robinson. But Turpin proved to be a better fighter than many people gave him credit for. and he took full advantage as Robinson's gas tank ran on fumes later in the fight. That earned him a decision against one of the greatest boxers ever. Okay? Okay. What's wrong? Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's Miss Gas disturb me. She get ready to leave out. See you later, honey. Have fun. Okay. Now, that earned him a decision against one of the greatest boxers ever. Robinson got his revenge and knocked Turpin out when the two fought again a few months later. But that was a big one. I don't guess Turpin was a 20-1 underdog in the second one either. Couldn't have been. He had beat him. Okay. Okay, Joe is checking in. Joe says, Turpin had a tragic ending suicide, even shot his daughter before himself. She survived, though. Now, see, that's what I say, man. If you're going to kill yourself, just kill yourself. Why are you going to kill the other person, too? Just go ahead and shoot yourself, man. Like them murder-suicide. Just kill yourself. Why are you going to shoot his daughter first? She ain't the one trying to commit suicide. Just go ahead and kill yourself, right? I never understood that murder-suicide nonsense. Just kill yourself. The other person ain't trying to kill themselves. You want to murder yourself, right? I don't understand that. That's crazy. Yeah, but Randall Turpin, but this gets good. The daughter did survive, though. That was good. The daughter did survive. It turned out okay. Next one is Muhammad Ali versus Sonny Liston. Look at Sonny all covered up. Sonny like, stop hitting me. Stop. But that's really Cassius Clay. Cassius Clay. He was Cassius Clay then. Okay. Now this was one of the fights that paved the way for Ali's greatness. Liston was one of the scariest fighters of his era, and he was coming off consecutive wins against Floyd Patterson, who was the man before Liston beat him. Yeah, I think Floyd won the heavyweight title twice, didn't he, Bruce? Something like that. But he was the man before Liston beat him. Liston beat him 2 times in the first round. Okay? Now, many people expected things to go bad for the big talking Ali when he stepped inside the ring to face Liston. Ali shocked the world by outclassing Liston so severely that Liston quit on his stool after the 6th round. It was then the boxing world realized Ali could back up most of the checks his mouth wrote. Okay? Yeah, Ali could back up them checks, man. Yes, sir. The old school says Sonny had no idea how to stop the punches coming from Ali. He was just too slow. Yeah, me and Old School did a show recently on Sonny Liston too. Good show. Worth going back and looking at. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. The next one is James Braddock versus Max Baer. That's one of Old School. We did a show on Max Baer too. Yeah, we got one coming up on Ali. Yeah, me and Old School. Mm-hmm. There's that's James Braddock on the left and Max Baer on the right. You know, Max Baer Jr. was Jethro from the Beverly Hillbillies. That's his father. And his uncle, Buddy Baer, was also a boxer. Right? Yeah. Okay. James Braddock versus Max Baer. This upset was so colossal, Braddock became known as the Cinderella Man. Yep. Remember that? They made a movie out of that, the Cinderella Man. And his story became an award-winning movie. Yeah, okay, I just said that. Max Baer was a powerful puncher with a reputation for knocking opponents out. A couple people died after Max Baer fights. And he was the newly minted Ring Magazine, NBA, and New York State Athletic Commission heavyweight champion. Like I just told you, that was what we had back then. Those 3. Now, Braddock was meant to be an easy payday for Baer, despite a few recent respectable wins under his belt. The odds makers had Braddock as a 10-1 underdog leading into the fight. He surprised fans with his ability to take a shot. He took everything Baer had and kept walking forward. And Max Baer could punch, you know. You talk about Foreman and Beterbiev and Wilder. Max Baer was in that class, man. Yeah. For like 40s rounded, but Max Baer was in that class. Yes. That earned Braddock a unanimous decision and 3 heavyweight titles. Unfortunately for Braddock, his title reign was short-lived as he lost his next fight to guess who? The Brown Bomber, Joe Louis. Yeah, he should have known his first title defense against Joe Louis. Come on, James, you should have took a tune-up first. And there's James Brody. What's up, James Brody? How are you, bro? Good to see you today. All my people coming in here now. I'm not monetized, right? They snatched my monetization from me. I don't even know why they snatched it. I just had it about a month. Yep, but it's all good. They didn't even tell me, but I'm trying to find out so I don't do it again. Wouldn't it be wise to tell a person so they don't do it again? But the next one is Max Schmeling versus Joe Louis 1. There they are. Max on the left, Joe Louis on the right. Yeah, Max Schmeling won the first fight. No one expected him to win that either. But the second one, Joe didn't play with his food, got him out in the first round. But Max won this one. Joe Louis had already established himself as a force to be reckoned with in the heavyweight division. Okay? When he squared off against Schmeling, he already was a force to reckon with. Sporting a 24-0 record, few expected Schmeling to put up much of a fight against the hard-hitting Louis. But Schmeling had appropriately prepared for this fight and studied Louis's tendencies. His hard counter rights kept finding their target. He eventually put Louis away with his barrages during the 12th round, handing the Brown Bomber his first loss. Louis went on to knock Schmeling out during their rematch, first round. But yeah, Schmeling got that one. BN Boxing News in there. I told you all my friends coming. BN Boxing News in here. What's up, BN Boxing News? Another fire JBT channel. Yep. Salute BN Boxing News. Talking about some of the biggest upsets of all time today, BN. Yeah. You know, number one was Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson. 42-1 odds, man. $100 would have got you 4 G's. 200 with like $8,000 to $10,000, man. And I saw that fight, but I didn't bet. I didn't give Buster Douglas a chance. Nobody did. He not only beat Mike, he stopped him, put him down for 10 seconds, man. Yep. Yeah, it was good. I'm ready when you're ready. You know, we still got to do the Muhammad Ali one. That's next. Okay, but it's coming. But yeah, we're gonna cover all of them. Okay, the next fight is Lloyd Honeyghan versus Donald Curry. There they are. That's Curry on the left, Honeyghan on the right. Lloyd Honeyghan versus Donald Curry. That was a big one too. Okay. Now, many considered Donald Curry to be the best thing in the welterweight division since Sugar Ray Leonard, right? He had secured multiple titles at that point in his career and sported a 25-0 professional record. Fans barely knew who Lloyd Honeyghan was heading into this fight, even though he sported a respectable 27-0 record, right? He was from Britain. Excuse me. Now, the competition in the UK wasn't seen as comparable to the competition in the United States. So many expected Curry to outclass Honeyghan. That's not what happened, though. That's not what happened in the ring, though. Lloyd was so dominant during this fight that Curry quit in his corner after the 6th round to stop the humiliating beating he was taking. Made him quit in his corner. He was beating him so bad. Okay. Not even a month being Boxing News. Ain't that crazy? Now, Joe says, I hate when they say in documentaries Mac was screaming, "Oh no," when Louis was hitting him. Who the F heard that? I don't know, Joe. That's what they say, though. I hate that, too. I don't think the man was screaming like that, man. The man a professional boxer. He trained to take punishment. He ain't gonna be in there screaming like that, man. I don't believe that neither, Joe, and I hate it. Yeah. The next one is Evander Holyfield versus Mike Tyson. There you go. Evander got Mike doubled over. That was probably one. Wasn't there one when Evander? Two was the bike fight, so it had to be one, yeah. Evander got Mike doubled over, covered up. Look like how Ali had Liston, don't it? Look at that. Yeah, Evander won that one. Second one was a no contest, the bike fight. But Evander Holyfield versus Mike Tyson won. Okay, this is one. Tyson lost a lot of his mystique as a boxer after his loss to Buster Douglas, but he managed to restore his reputation after a stint in prison. He went back to steamrolling opponents as he did during his earlier days, looking as ferocious as he ever did inside the ring. He even won 2 titles. I think he got the WBA and WBC back. Yeah. We had all 4 of them by that point when Mike Tank came out of prison. We had the WBA, WBC, IBF, and WBO. And Mike got the WBA and WBC back. I know he got 2 of them back. Yeah. Holyfield was considered a washed-up boxer then, and he opened up as a 25-1 underdog. They still ain't learned. They made Buster 42-1, and he beat Mike. Now they got Evander 25-1. They didn't learn the lesson, see? Holyfield came into this fight as a 25-1 underdog, but Holyfield lived up to his nickname, the Real Deal, and showed the boxing world he was indeed the real deal. Holyfield frustrated Tyson by outboxing him and clinching up whenever Tyson let his hands go. And that's why Tyson bit him in that second fight, because he said Holyfield clinched too much and kept headbutting him in the first one. So Mike said, I ain't having this, and bit him in the second fight, right? He knocked Tyson out in the 11th round and proved his victory wasn't a fluke by dominating their rematch before Mike was disqualified for biting his ear. Yeah. The bite fight. That was the second one. I think that was a no contest, right? Yeah. That was a no contest. Okay, next we have I don't went past my who was it? Holyfield and Mike Tyson. Yeah, I'm right. Muhammad Ali and Big George Foreman. Yeah, we were scared for Ali when that happened. I was like 14. That was 74. And Foreman was not just beating people at that time. He was destroying people, man. He beat Joe Frazier in 2 rounds, knocked him down 6 times, and stopped him in 2 rounds. And we were like, what is Ali going to do with this big monster? But that's what he did. See that? The rope-a-dope. Laid on the ropes, and Foreman was pounding and pounding and ran out of gas, and Ali knocked him out. Al Booker says, man, I thought Tyson was going to knock Evander block off. Yeah. Same thing we thought about Buster, AB, but yeah, Mike. And it was 25-1 favorite again, Mike was, but Holyfield got him. Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman. Okay. Now, this was one of the biggest fights that ever took place in boxing history, and it lived up to the hype. Foreman was the reigning WBC, WBA, and ring heavyweight champion. And he was the Mike Tyson of his era, right? And no one had been able to figure out how to beat him. Like I said, he was destroying people, not just beating them, you know. And we were scared for Ali. Like, Ali, just let him have the title. You don't need it back. You're the greatest. Let him have it. But Ali went on in there. Ali was also established at that point, but Joe Louis and Ken Norton had beaten him. Wait a minute. Joe Frazier, not Joe Louis. Joe Frazier and Ken Norton had beaten Ali. Many didn't give Ali much of a chance. I didn't. But that didn't stop him from throwing every insult he could at Foreman. Ali backed his talk up inside the ring using the rope-a-dope strategy to tire Foreman out before knocking him out in the 8th round. Yeah, it was like cutting down a tree like Paul Bunyan. Foreman went down face first in slow motion. Like, you remember the Towering Inferno when Mendoza knocked him down? Foreman was very similar to that, going down, man. Yeah, like, took him like 10 seconds to get to the mat. Yeah. Okay. The next one is I keep losing my place. Here we go. Yeah, Fritzy. This is a big one here too. Fritzy Zivik and Henry Armstrong. You know, Henry was the one that had 3. They only had 8 weight classes then, And Henry had 3 of the titles of the 8 at the same time. And almost had 4, half of them. They cheated him and called the other fight a draw when it was going for 4. Just Do Boxing in the building. The Voice. We got about a half hour, about 35 minutes before The Voice comes in and takes over these airwaves. What's Salute Just Do Boxing? Got something good for us at 4 o'clock, of course. And we going on over. Okay. Y'all not leaving me here. I'm going to check The Voice out too. Y'all think I'm going to stay here by myself? Ain't nobody going to be here at 4 o'clock. The Voice is going to be on. But Salute Just Do Boxing. Next is Fritzy Zivic versus Henry Armstrong. There they go. Now, I don't know what the referee was doing there. Looked like some extracurricular activity getting ready to start, and the referee trying to, like he's flying in there. They talking. So that referee, I don't know what he was doing. And he got Henry on top of the head. They're going to grab him by his head and pull him back. But anyway, this was a big upset. Fritzy Zivic, Henry Armstrong. Known as Homicide Hank, that's me and Al Booker's favorite nickname for him, Homicide Hank. He was also Hurricane Hank, but we like Homicide Hank. Known as Homicide Hank, during his prime, Armstrong successfully defended the world welterweight title 18 times. And it was a foregone conclusion that Zivic would be number 19. Yeah, everybody thought that. I ain't that old. I wasn't back then. This was like 1930 something. Now, Zivic shocked fans when he proved too much for Armstrong, coming close to finishing him during the final round. Zivic earned the decision victory in one of the biggest upsets in boxing history. Yeah, that was a big one. Homicide Hank had like 3 belts. It was only 8 weight classes, and he almost had 4. At the same time, he was defending 3 titles at one time. That's legendary. And Homicide Hank is number 3 on the Cash Sports all-time top 10 pound-for-pound list. Only ones in front of Homicide Hank is Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Robinson. Number 4 is Willie Pep. Number 5 is Joe Louis. That's the top 5. But next, I'm going to do that again soon too. It's been a while since I've done it. Yeah, this was an upset. I don't think this Sugar Ray didn't win this fight. Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler. No, that was a robbery. Yeah, Marvin Hagler won that, man. And Sugar Ray ducked the rematch. I've told y'all about it many times. I'm going to tell you again when I finish reading this. Marvelous Marvin Hagler was widely regarded as the best middleweight of his era and one of the pound-for-pound best in the world when he fought Sugar Ray Leonard. No one had come close to beating Hagler in over a decade, and Leonard was the smaller fighter. But Leonard used his speed and technical prowess to edge out a close decision, scoring a very controversial upset. Now, and some people haven't heard this story, so after the fight, Hagler wanted the rematch. Sugar Ray Leonard said, "No, man, I'm retired." So Hagler waited 14 months trying to get the rematch. Sugar Ray was adamant about unretired. So Hagler gave up after the 14 months and retired. Guess who comes out of retirement 1 month later? Sugar Ray Leonard. Now that's a duck. That is a duck. Sugar Ray did not want to fight that man again. So you want Hagler should have did? When Sugar Ray came back, the next month Hagler should have came back. Sugar Ray probably would have retired again. And Sugar Ray is one of my favorite fighters, but that's a duck there. That's a duck. He didn't even wait 6 months. He came back the next month. Oh, it's safe now. Hagler retired. I can come back. Yeah, that is a duck, man. Now, y'all know that's a duck. And I like Sugar Ray, but that's a duck. That's my thing. Okay, next is, okay, I'm way down there. I didn't check them all. Okay. Next is Kirkland Lang versus The Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran. I like saying that. The Hands of Stone. Kirkland Lang versus Roberto Duran. The Hands of Stone got upset in this one. There's Kirkland on the left, Roberto on the right. I'm like Roberto just tapping him there. Got him on the chin though. I don't know how hard that was though. Wow. You get a man hard enough right there, you're going to get him up out of there. Look at that, right on the chin, man. But he didn't get him out because Kirkland got the upset. Yes, old school, it was absolutely a duck, man. See, old school keeps it at 100. Man. It was absolutely a duck. Yes, it was. Now, Duran had already suffered a few humiliating defeats by the time he faced Lang, right? So he gave up against Sugar Ray Leonard. He was barely beaten by Rofer Benitez, but Duran was still dangerous inside the ring, and he had earned his status as one of the all-time greats. Yeah, one of the four kings. At the time, Lang was an unknown boxer, but that didn't stop him from outclassing Duran and scoring one of the biggest upsets in boxing history. The loss turned out to be a good thing for Duran, as it set up one of the most inspiring comeback stories in boxing. Yeah, because he came back from that No Mas fight when No Mas quit against Sugar Ray. He came back and got like 2 more titles after that. Yeah. So yeah, Roberto was one of my favorites too. The Hands of Stone. Next is this was a big one here too. Hasim Rahman versus Lennox Lewis. There they go. Hasim on the left, kind of blurry. Lennox on the right. Yeah, Hasim. That was 1. Hasim Rahman versus Lennox Lewis 1. Yeah. Man, why do I only have 13 likes? All these people in here. But it's all good. Maybe people don't like it. Hit the down one then. I don't mind. Hit the down. If you don't like it, hit the down thumb. Hit one of them. Hasim Rahman versus Lennox Lewis. Now, Lewis was a heavy favorite heading into this fight against Rahman, and for a good reason, right? Lewis was the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, an honor he won by defeating, guess who? Evander Holyfield, right? Now, on the other hand, Rahman's career appeared to be going the wrong direction. He didn't have a bunch of notable wins on his resume, with his only impressive win coming against Corey Sanders. Lewis was expected to walk through Rahman, but Rahman was the one who scored a knockout in the 5th round. Yep, stopped Lennox. Rahman stopped him, man. Sure did. Yep. Al Booger says, I'll never forget Lewis versus Rahman. That was a big time stunner. Yes, it was, Al Booger. And Joe says, yeah, old school Briggs nearly died that night. I missed it. Yeah, I'm missing stuff in the chat. But yeah, don't forget our raffle too. We got 3 prizes. First prize is an Apple 10th generation iPhone. Second prize is some Kenichi Bear headphones. Those things are fire. Third prize is the air fryer. 3 first prizes, $10. $10 for 1 chance, and then you got $25 will get you 3 chances. The drawing is October 10th. Okay. And the wonderful Melanie Queen is in the chat too. We was asking everybody to show her some love yesterday for all the things she do for the state BC organization. You can show some love today. $ Melanie Queen 1027 is her cash app. Okay. And that's right here is where you send the money for the raffle. $ JBT Network. Okay. Yeah. Melanie Queen is doing, she's our secretary and everything else for the JBT. Vice President, CEO, everything. Melanie Queen. Salute. Yeah, there's her cash app right there. If you want to show her some love today. I think that's right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, where were we? Okay, yeah. Frankie Randall. Yeah, I did Lewis and Rahman, right? Frankie Randall versus Julio Cesar Chavez. Yeah. This was 1 because they fought twice too. This was 1. We got a few more. We're gonna get them in because we got like a half hour left. Might not get too much link time today. Frankie Randall versus Julio Cesar Chavez. Okay. I gotta take another drink of my cooler real quick. It's close to the weekend. Don't forget tomorrow is the Boxing in the State series continues with Idaho. Yeah, they had boxing in Idaho. You know, back in the 30s and 40s, the NCAA had an NCAA boxing tournament. Idaho had a good boxing team, and so did the University of Wisconsin. We're going to cover it tomorrow. Friday is the life and career of Zab Judah. Okay. Frankie Randall versus Julio Cesar Chavez. Frankie Randall on the left, Julio Cesar Chavez on the right. Excuse me. Chavez started his boxing career with 90 consecutive fights without a loss, but he did lose a couple. He got a couple gifts in there. With a draw against Pernell Whitaker, that's one of the losses. Okay. Yeah, he lost that fight. Okay. No one expected Chavez to struggle against Frankie Randall. Both men put on an impressive show during their 12-round showdown, with Randall sending Chavez to the canvas for the first time in his career in the 11th round. Randall won a split decision, scoring an upset victory against the legend of the sport. And it should have been unanimous. They even tried to cheat for Chavez in that fight. That was unanimous. There wasn't no split decision, man. That was unanimous. Come on. But they did get the winner right. So, give them that much credit. Okay. Next is Antonio Tarver and Roy Jones Jr. There they are. Antonio and Roy. Bent versus Morrison. The $1 million upset. Okay, Joe. Yeah, Joe says Bent versus Morrison. The $1 million upset. Okay. Is that okay? Yeah. Antonio, I can't get my throat clear. I'm sorry. Antonio Tarver versus Roy Jones Jr. Okay, there they are. Yeah, Antonio slept Roy, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Tarver lost a close decision the first time. This was 2, right? The first time these two shared the ring. But many fans felt he won the fight. Tarver claimed the judges robbed him, and Roy was insulted by the fact many fans didn't think he won fair and square, setting the stage for the rematch, okay? Set up the rematch. Tarver then pulled off one of the biggest upsets in boxing history, knocking Jones out in the 2nd round of their showdown. It was the first time Jones Jr. was stopped during his career. Was it the first time he had been on the mat? Joe, I think, was the first time Roy had even been down. Not just being stopped, I don't think. This next one was Big George Foreman and Michael Moorer. Remember that? When Big George became the, why it didn't change? I hope this thing ain't getting ready to go out on me. Big George Foreman and Michael Moorer. There they are. That's Michael Moorer on the ground. I got him covered up by my name. Let me see if I can show you him. Yeah, there's, see, Michael Moorer on the ground. Big George looking down at him. Yeah. George got on his classic red, white, and blue shorts. He wore them in the 70s when he was in his first reign. Mm-hmm. But it was really weird when George came back, because it was like 2 different people, man. The first time he was a bad interview. He didn't like talking. He was always mean and, grr. The second time he was smiling and cracking jokes all the time. And everybody was like, there's sort of 2 areas. Is this just somebody else named George Foreman? This can't be the same person. It was crazy, man. Okay. Melanie Queen. I hated to see Roy lose. I was in love with Roy back then. Okay, Melanie Queen. Yeah, I know that must have hurt you bad when what Antonio did to him. Joe says Randall's first loss to Evan Rosario was in the UK, and he lost by half a point. Wow, just half a point. How did he do that, Joe? Old School said he picked George to beat Moore. Did you pick him to knock him out, Old School? Because George stopped him. Now, George was behind on all 3 cards when he got the stoppage, Old School. Yeah, he was behind, but he got the stoppage. Foreman was 45 years old, and he's still the oldest heavyweight champion. Foreman was 45 years old when he challenged Michael Moorer for the WBA and IBF titles. Moorer had just won the belts by defeating Evander Holyfield. And he was looking for a big name to solidify his status as a heavyweight champion. He picked the wrong big name. Many fans viewed the matchup as lopsided, as Foreman was past his prime, but he proved them all wrong when he knocked Moorer out during the 10th round, becoming the oldest heavyweight champion in boxing history. And he was the oldest man, period, until B-Hop. B-Hop broke it at 46. The B-Hop broke his own record at 47. Then he broke that record at 48. So finally, B-Hop made it at 48. But Foreman is still the oldest heavyweight. Just got a couple more. The next one is Larry Holmes. Michael Spinks and Larry Holmes. Always put the upset turf first. Yes. I thought Holmes won both of those fights. Yeah, they fought twice, and they gave both to Spinks, but I thought Holmes won both of them, man. I really did. Yeah, Melanie, he said it sure did. I was living in Orlando at the time, where Antonio was from. Yeah, Roy's from Florida too, ain't he, Melanie? Both of them was from Florida, right? Roy and Antonio. Old School says Moore's defense wasn't all that, and I had a feeling that George would put him on the canvas. You was right, Old School. George caught him. Yep, he got him. But isn't Roy from Florida too, Melanie Queen? I think. I believe you both. I believe so. I know Antonio is. Yeah. Michael Spinks versus Larry Holmes. I didn't think Spinks won that. Holmes was the IBF heavyweight champion when he shared the ring with Michael Spinks. He was also on a 48-fight winning streak. Spinks was the reigning light heavyweight champion who moved up a weight class to challenge Holmes, and many felt he was too small to be a legitimate threat. Spinks used his speed advantage to outbox Holmes for 15 rounds, earning himself a very controversial decision. Very controversial, man. Yeah. Now, this next one, I don't know why this was an upset, but it's called the upset. The way he beat this man, he beat him like he owned him. George Foreman versus Joe Frazier. Look at that. Joe Frazier got up off the mat and started running. Look at that. Look, he's running. And Big George is right behind, like, come back here. Look, Frazier is running, man. That was probably like the fourth of those 6 knockdowns. Look at him. He's running more than Kern. That's worse than Kern versus Boots. And George would say, no, you ain't getting away from me. Look at that, man. Frazier is running. George's like, oh, no. I don't know why this was an upset, though. Anyway, we got a couple, about 2 more. Yeah, 2 more. And we got about 20 minutes. Foreman had already developed a reputation as a powerful puncher before this fight against Frazier, but his skills were still raw for the most part. Frazier was the man in the division with wins over big names like Muhammad Ali, right? They had their first fight at that point. On paper, Foreman looked like the perfect opponent for Frazier's style. That's why I don't know if it was a rematch. Why it was it upset? But Foreman used his size and strength to wear Frazier down, send him to the canvas 3 times in the first round and another 3 times in the second round before the referee stopped the fight. The referee said, that's enough of that, man. You done been down 6 times. Why do you keep getting up? Why did he get up there and run? He got up and started running. You might as well stay down. Look at that, he's running. See his arm in front? That's how you put your left arm up and your other arm down. That's running. I mean, see his arm, hand up? He's running. And George Foreman's like right behind him. Where you going? He should have just stayed on the canvas, right? That's what I would have did. Iran Barkley versus Thomas Hearns. We got one more after this. Iran on the left, Thomas on the right. He done knocked Thomas lopsided. Damn. Booger said, don't do that to Smoking Joe. He's running now, Booger. Yeah, Old School. In 1 minute, because I'm gonna finish these last 2 and then I'm gonna drop it. That's cool. We got like 15 minutes to chop it up. Barkley wasn't given much of a chance against Hearns for many good reasons. Hearns was one of the most dominant forces in the middleweight division, and his only losses were against exceptional boxers like Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler. As most people expected, Barkley lost the first 2 rounds, But he turned things around when he dropped Hearns in the third round. Hearns got back to his feet, but Barkley never gave him a chance to recover, forcing the stoppage during the same round. This is the last one. Then we're going to drop the link. Carlos Baldomir versus Zab Judah. Zab is a profile Friday. Baldomir was supposed to be a journeyman Judah would beat up to earn a title shot against Floyd Mayweather. And that probably made him overconfident heading into the fight. Carlos had plans of his own, and he didn't let Judah's antics, like throwing a low blow during introductions, getting to his head. He outclassed Judah for most of the fight, winning a unanimous decision. Baldomir went on to face Mayweather and suffered his first professional loss. But Zab did get the Floyd fight eventually. Yeah, Zab wasn't above throwing low blows and stuff. Joe says Frazier was more interested in singing than fighting back then. Yeah, he ran, Joe. He ran. Okay, here comes the link. Old school and anybody else that want to hit it. Hit it. Hit it. This is the link is that we put the one hitter critter on it and smash that appreciation button for me. I'm already mad because they took my daggone monetization from me. Y'all see my dollar sign ain't down there no more. I don't even know why they took it. They didn't tell me. YouTube got the, but I better be quiet before my whole channel be off there. But I don't know why. I'm trying to find out. Jay Hardcore was telling me what to do. I tried to call him today. Jay ain't answered. Come on, God damn it. Excuse my language. This damn. I need a new phone, Miss Cat. Oh, she ain't listening. She gone. Christmas is coming. Oh, we get the link right on the first try this time. Where's Remo at? I ain't seen Remo all week. He ducked me on it. It wasn't no list. Oh, Remo is on vacation. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Remo is on vacation. There it is, old school. I think that's right. Try that, old school. Yeah, Remo is on vacation. Yeah. Okay. You hit that link there. The link is in the chat. Hope everybody enjoyed the show today. I appreciate everybody rocking with me. Okay, thank you, Melanin Queen. That's what I thought. It just came to me. Yeah, he's in the Bahamas. There's. Old school said device not connected. Try it again, old school. The device not connected. There you go. Okay. Hey, what's up, old school?
What's happening, Cass?
Not too much, man. Just another day talking this boxing.
All right, here's the deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had a little inside info on that Buster Douglas fight.
And Tyson?
Yep.
Okay.
My godfather's name is Buck Savarese.
Okay.
Does that last name ring a bell?
What's his last name again?
Savarese.
Yeah, I've heard it. I can't remember where, but I have heard it.
You might have heard it because Mike Tyson fought Lou Savarese.
Yeah, that's right. Lou Savarese.
That was my godfather's nephew.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
I found out, well, I knew that Buster was actually training. And he was training his ass off.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is something Buster rarely ever did.
That's right. Yeah.
Buster had a problem. He liked to eat. And he didn't like to train. Just like Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe's my favorite from that generation. Yeah. But I found out, and my cousin and me had a $20 bet, which was a lot of money back then for a kid, you know?
Yeah, back in the 90s, damn right. Mm-hmm.
So, I wasn't actually a kid, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you mean. 20 was a lot for a grown man back then, shit.
Yeah, especially just starting out in this world. on their
I
own.
was around 30. That was a lot for me. Shit.
So I find out all of this, and I'm finding out that he's doing this because he's dedicating this fight to his mother who's died.
Right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I told my cousin, I said, we're going to see the best Buster you've ever seen in your life come out there that night. And he's like, bruh, he's going to get stomped by Tyson. I said, bruh, I don't know. I said, I'm picking Buster to win this fight.
Yeah.
He's like, you got to be kidding me. He's like, I got $20 says you wrong. I said, okay, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
We saw what happened.
Yeah. Yep. Buster stopped him.
Yeah.
Buster out.
And I'm going to tell you something. After that fight, his motivation was gone. He did what he set out to do.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
So he went right back to eating, right back to Bailey training. And sure enough, Evander Holyfield just wiped the floor with him.
Yeah, he was 15 pounds heavier in the Holyfield fight than when he fought Tyson. Yeah, he wasn't.
Exactly. Exactly. If Buster would have trained the way he trained for Tyson, I think he'd have beat Holyfield.
Man, if he would have trained every fight, he would have been a problem at heavyweight in that era.
Dude,
man.
he would have been. Well, I used to tell everybody, that man has skills. It's like, you rarely get to see that side of Buster in his fights, but you could see the man had absolute skills.
Yeah, that jab, man, but he had a good jab.
Oh, yeah, it was beautiful.
Jab, accurate, yeah. And that's
but
what happened when he closed Mike's eye up with it, remember? Closed Mike's eye up.
Cass, I'm the only person I know till this day that picked up Buster Douglas to win that fight.
You're the only one that I know of. Yeah. Nobody picked him, man. I didn't give him a chance. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely need to do one on James Braddock, bro. James, I got a lot of info on Braddock.
Okay. Yeah, Braddock won. He upset Bayer, but then his next fight was against Joe Louis, so he didn't have it long, you know.
Well, remember I told you when we were talking about it before. The thing was that Baer he struggled with the fact that he killing men. Right. And he was drinking heavily. Mm-hmm. And when he fought Braddock fought just like the guy he killed in the ring.
The first one, yeah, that's right.
It was almost like his twin, the two styles.
Yeah, remember you told me that. That had a lot to do with him losing that fight, right?
Right. I don't think he wanted to hit Braddock with everything he had. So I think he was just in there trying to outbox Braddock, which did not work out for him at all.
Didn't work out. Yeah, because he was a power guy, man. He had to go in there and swing and get people.
Right. And Braddock was a much more technical boxer than Baer was. The only way Baer was going to win that fight was with his power. And the fact that he didn't use it, he didn't have a chance.
Nope. He didn't have a chance in there, man. Yep. And that's what happened. Yeah, Braddock. We can do Braddock after Ali then, you know.
Go back and look at the fight. Go look at the black and white fight between Baer and Primo Carnero.
Okay.
He beat the brakes off that dude. That dude was gigantic.
I know, Carnero, yeah.
Carnero was never the same after that fight with Baer.
And you know,
they didn't like each other at all.
He had a little mafia connected with him too. Carnero did, you know. Yeah.
Baer did not like him at all. In fact, could be said Baer was actually trying to get him out of it. I heard him, you know?
Yeah, he was huge though. Wow. Yeah, Carnero was, man.
Yeah, Carnero was huge, man. Carnero was like, what, 6'5" or something like that, 260 pounds.
Yeah.
He was huge.
And when was him and Baer's fight? Like around the 30s? I mean, I've never seen
it was in the 30s because it was one day. That was the one he won the belt off of. Was Carnero, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. I've never seen it. I'm gonna have to pull that one up. I ain't never seen that one. I knew they fought, but I never saw it before. That's one I'm gonna have to watch. Yeah.
But you got to watch that fight. He literally beat the brakes off that man. It wasn't even funny.
Did Buddy ever win the championship? Max's brother, Buddy Baer? I don't think so, did he?
I don't think he did. He lost to Joe Louis.
Yeah, he was going for it.
That was his one shot at a title was Joe Louis, and Joe Louis at that time was just unbeatable.
Yeah, he was running through everybody. Yeah, that's why I said Braddock, when he beat Bear, his first defense was Joe Louis, you know, so he should have had a couple other defenses first before he went up against, he fought Joe Louis at
Dude,
that
he
time.
was out of the ring. I think Braddock was out of the ring for almost 2 years when he fought Louis.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was on a long hiatus.
Yeah, his first fight back is Joe Louis. Wow. That's crazy.
And then being out of the ring all that time, you know that man walked in there with a lot of ring rust.
For sure. Yeah.
But he was ready to retire, man. He was actually, look, he had fought most of his career, the end of his career, with broken hands, broken shoulders. He got in a car wreck, broke his shoulder. He was just a walking Evel Knievel as far as broken bones go.
Yeah, I know he always had a problem with his hands.
Yeah,
Braddock got that name Cinderella Man from that Bear fight, from that upset, right?
Right.
Cinderella
He took
Man.
a year off because they forced him. They literally took his boxing license from him.
Why did they take his license?
Because he went in to fight a guy and literally looked like trash. He broke his hand in like the first round again. The hand was already broken and then it was healing.
Right.
And then the rest of the fight, he was fighting with one hand, and the commissioner was like, "That's enough. You've lost fight after fight after fight. You can't win a fight anymore. No, we're not going to keep putting you in there." So they pulled his license. Well, his manager was best buddies with the commish, and he was like, "Look, Braddock's been off for a year. He's had time to heal. He's in good." And Braddock did. He was working the docks. He was using his left more than anything because his right hand was messed up.
Right.
So he actually got power in his left hand.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Right. So they put him in against the guy, stating that, this guy's gonna beat him. He's never been knocked out. Watch him knock Braddock out. Blah blah blah. And then Braddock goes in there and puts him to sleep.
Who was that?
You know?
You don't remember?
I can't remember. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah. But he put him to sleep. Okay.
So they put him in a tournament, and he beat everybody in the tournament, including John Henry Lewis, who was mad good at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, John Henry
So
was pretty.
They had no choice but to put Braddock in the ring with Max Baer.
Right. Okay.
And that's how he wound up getting the fight with Baer. And then, like I said, he goes in there and he literally beat the hell out of Baer.
But you say Baer, he reminded Baer of the guy that Baer had killed in there, though. So they had a lot to do with it. And you know, they tried to prosecute Baer for that death in the ring. I don't know how they could do that.
That was just stupid.
Eventually, they dropped the charges. How can you prosecute somebody? It got to be an accident. You know, it's a boxing match. How can you prove intent?
There was no intent.
They should have never even charged the man with that.
No, they should never have even charged the man for that shit. That was just dumb.
Yeah, that was crazy. You know? That was good and crazy, man.
People will never know just how hard Baer hit because of that.
Yeah.
But he pulled back on a lot of fights towards the end of his career because he was scared of killing somebody.
Jack Dempsey even started working with him, trying to get him back together, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Jack went to him, and I heard the story about that too. Jack was like, "Look, dude, it's not like you did it on purpose. These guys know what they're getting into when they get in the ring.
It's boxing. Yeah, it happens. You ain't the first one."
He wound up, he got Baer to go back in the ring again.
Yeah. Was Jack Dempsey training him at one time or something, or just like an advisor or something like that?
I think he was an advisor.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, because Baer had his own little team. And he stuck with his team through the years. I don't think he ever made any changes to his team.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, if Baer would have stuck it out and never killed that guy, God knows how many knockouts that dude would have had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He would have been, man. He would have been one of the greats.
Yeah, because there was a lot of his opponents said when you got hit by a bear, it was like getting hit by a truck.
Yeah. Because he used to work on a farm or something when he was young too, wasn't
Yeah.
he? Right?
He used to pull a plow.
Yeah. Kind of like Sonny Liston.
Right.
Got that strength from working.
I mean, think about it. When you're on a farm, dude, you got to fool with cows, you got to fool with pigs, you got to fool with then you got to haul hay and all that crap. I mean, that's hard ass work.
And remember, Sonny's father had him pulling the plow in place of the mule.
Yeah, Sonny's father, the damn horse died, or the donkey, whatever the hell it was, and then they got. Well, I can't even imagine that shit.
No, that was crazy. I would have just had to get beat. I wouldn't pull.
Man, you know how hard it is to be to pull a plow?
Yeah, you got mules doing that shit.
That's why Sonny was so damn cockstrong.
Yeah, he was a kid, man. He wasn't even a grown man yet.
He was 13 years old.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Damn. That's crazy. When you gonna you got any idea about the Muhammad Ali profile? You don't know yet? Not this
it ain't gonna I'm gonna try for Monday.
Okay.
I'll let you know Saturday, unless my boss screws that up too. But
right, you say he got you this week, right?
Yeah, he called me Saturday and tells me, he's like, look, I need you to go take a ride with me. We got to go look at this digital. I said, we can't do that on Tuesday. He said, no, I got customers complaining because it looks like shit. Next thing you know, I'm roped into it.
Right. Oh, I got you. Yeah, we'll get it done though. Yeah, Ali. Then I guess Max Braddock. You say something about Joe Frazier or something too one time? I mean James Braddock.
What about it?
James Braddock.
Yeah, I want to do Braddock. I got a lot of info on Braddock too.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
I actually did a report in school on Braddock, which is how I know. Yeah.
What was the fight you was just telling me about? It was Braddock? No, Bear and Carnera, right? That's what I'm aware of. Bear and Carnera. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
If you can find it, a damn good fight to go back and watch. And I don't know if they have it on YouTube or not. I saw it on them reel-to-reels that my uncle had. But there's John Henry Lewis and Braddock. That was a war.
Yeah, John Henry.
They were trading punches left and right. I mean, they were beating the brakes off each other. And then Braddock wound up. He hurt him a few times, put him on the canvas. And
who ended up winning that one?
Braddock. Okay. I tell you, that was part of the tournament he had to win to get to Bear.
That was in that tournament, okay. Because, John Henry, he only fought 8 years because he went blind. But he had like 117 fights in like 8 years, man. That's like 14, 15 fights a year.
John Henry Lewis is another bad man.
Yeah, man. Them guys back then, they fought. But they had to because that's how they didn't make a lot of money. That's how they fed their families. So they had to fight a lot.
That's why they fought anywhere from 6 to 10 times a year. That's why every time somebody brings up the new guys versus the old guys, that's just stupid.
No comparison.
There's no comparison. Yeah, look, if you had a prime James J. Braddock or a prime Max Baer and put him in the ring with today's heavyweights, they clean house.
They wouldn't stand a chance. Just from the conditioning, from the condition and shape they would be in.
Yeah. As much as they fought every year, damn straight, dude. That's why them guys were so damn good. And they were so hard to beat.
Yeah. They didn't have time to get out of shape, but they was fighting so much.
Yep.
Jake LaMotta fought like 3 times in like a month. He fought Sugar Ray twice in 3 weeks. Then a couple weeks later, he fought another guy, man. That's how they did it, though. All of them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right, old school. We're gonna have to down for
the
board. Yeah, but
I'll holler at you later. I'll let you know. I'll let you know this weekend.
All right, old school. Appreciate you.
Peace out, bro.
All right, take care. Okay, that was my part-time co-host, William Old School, right there. Now we're getting ready to go and see what Just Do Boxing is talking about today. He's probably already in progress over there. We get to cooking on these panels so good, man. I don't want to stop, but I can't infringe on my brother's time, Couple minutes. They ain't too mad at me. But tomorrow is the Boxing in the State series continues with Idaho, okay? Friday, the life and career of Zab Judah. Okay. But yeah, we being old school, match up pretty good together talking this boxing history, man. So we got something coming up. You just got a little preview of it there, man. And then you're gonna get a whole 2 hours of it soon on Muhammad Ali. But I gotta get out of here. I'll be back tomorrow because if it's Monday through Friday at 2 p.m., it's the Boxtorian bringing you all that boxing history. Okay? Just Do Boxing. BN Boxing News. James Brody. Old School, hashtag JBT. Brave Patterson. Lonnie Lee, hashtag JBT. Al Booger. Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. Melanin Queen 27. Joe. Justin James, hashtag JBT. And Miss Cass, hashtag JBT. Appreciate everybody rocking with me today. Just Do Boxing, already in progress. This is Cass Sports. Everybody have a great afternoon.